Unionist George Galloway is demanding urgent answers as to why Scotland was not included in this year's UK census, calling the exemption a separatist manoeuvre. This year's census covered every household in England, Wales and Northern Ireland and had an added element to it, gauging how the COVID pandemic had impacted people's lives. Scots did not take part in the questionnaire, as Holyrood decided to push back the tally by a year. Those north of the border will be asked to answer the set of questions in March 2022 instead due to the impact of COVID-19. Scottish Secretary for Economy, Fair Work and Culture, Fiona Hyslop, insisted the decision was not taken lightly. Mr. Galloway hit out at the move and questioned how the SNP-led government was able to break away from the rest of the UK on the matter. He said collecting data from citizens was clearly a UK matter and should have been done in all four nations at the same time. The politician said he suspected a separatist mentality was at play when Ms. Sturgeon and her cabinet reached their decision. He tweeted, "How were the SNP allowed to take Scotland out of the UK census? The very definition of a UK matter. How can everywhere else in the state be in the census despite the pandemic but not us? Who allowed this? Why wasn't it contested? This is transparently separatist maneuvering." Mr. Galloway's All-For Unity Party is challenging the SNP in this year's Scottish parliamentary elections. His tweet comes at the beginning of what will be a defining week for the First Minister. Last week, Ms. Sturgeon faced widespread calls to resign after leaks from a special Holyrood committee concluded by a narrow majority that the First Minister had given an inaccurate account in her 8-hour testimony. The committee had been tasked with investigating the Scottish Government's handling of harassment allegations made by several women against Ms. Sturgeon's predecessor Alex Salmond. The group's full report is due to be published on Tuesday. If Ms. Sturgeon is found to have breached the ministerial code, it will be a grave matter for her political career. Last week, Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer joined a growing number of voices to say if Ms. Sturgeon was found to have broken the code she should step down.